We need to be prepared, better prepared, future ready to be able to meet challenges, security challenges in the future from an Army's point of view. One of the important lessons of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, which I mentioned earlier, was for us to remain or become self-reliant, reduce our import dependence to the least. I will just highlight two aspects here. One is, of course, self-reliance or Atmanirbharta, because that was one of the key lessons that we took from the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the need for us to reduce our dependency on export requirements and to be able to be self-reliant. The ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, you have new domains, be it cyber, be it space, be it information warfare, battle of narratives and the rest. So all this just indicates as to we need to be prepared, better prepared, future ready to be able to meet challenges, security challenges in the future from an Army's point of view. I will just highlight two aspects here. One is, of course, self-reliance or Atmanirbharta, because that was one of the key lessons that we took from the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the need for us to reduce our dependency on export requirements and to be able to be self-reliant. That has been one focus, and I must say we have done well there, and maybe in the later part of the chat we can talk of it. And of course, the fifth pillar which I missed out was the human resource management. With the kind of socio-economic changes that are happening in the society around us, we set about with the new system of recruitment or the Agnipath scheme. The first batch of Agniveers, 40,000, have joined the units. The feedback from the units or from the ground level is good, is encouraging. So overall, I feel in terms of the transform initiatives, I think we have progressed well. One of the important lessons of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, which I mentioned earlier, was for us to remain or become self-reliant, reduce our import dependence to the least. I think that is the start point. You mentioned about the military defense technology ecosystem. I believe there are four essential components or building blocks of this ecosystem. First is the resource allocation. Second is viable demand or viable market. Third is enabling government policies and provisions. And fourth is competitiveness. So for any ecosystem to thrive that you mentioned, I think these four need to be addressed. As service, as Army, we need to identify as to what role we need to play. And I think in terms of viable market, the demands, I think there is, purely looking at the numbers, there is adequate. And then we need to play give a level playing field. Enabling government policies, a number of measures that have been taken, such as putting aside 25% of your R&D budget for the private sector. Certain other policies in terms of innovation, encouraging innovation, the make one and make two route, so that encouraging the industry or funding some of the projects which the industry is undertaking from the government side. So these enabling provisions are there. So this ecosystem, I feel, is already in place. I must say that the Indian defense industry is stepping up or has already stepped up in the right manner to achieve the results or deliverables. I mentioned to you about the lessons from the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict. And if I can dwell on one of the key lessons, I think land will continue to be a key domain of warfare, especially in cases where you have disputed borders or contested borders, just as in our case. I believe the victory markers will have to be in the land domain, to be defined in the land domain, and hence the salience of, I would say, the land domain. I mean, that is not to suggest, when we look at enhancing our outcomes, so the jointness, the integration that we wish to or we must achieve with the other two services and other agencies, other departments, other stakeholders is as important. But my view in terms of salience of, I think, land, the land domain, I feel is going to be extremely important, especially in our case.